Hello everyone, this is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you a reading here for today, for this evening of September 15th, 2022. And so stepping into this energy as suited for this Virgo season, there is a major hermit vibes coming through. So I am going to go with it, all right? So what I'm really feeling is there is a period here now that is before us that is going to really change miraculously between now and next Virgo season, okay? So within the next 1 year, there's going to be big changes coming in. So this is like a big preview for us of the changes that need to take place within us and around us to lead us to be the best version of ourselves, to really embody our soul's mission while we're here in this time. And what a great place to be, and how we can embrace that light and let it shine, shine, shine. Okay, because that's what the hermit is. The hermit is, in you looking in the tarot here, has a gentleman that is holding a lantern that is lit up, right? And so what Spirit showed me was a candle that is lit. So there is candlelight shining, and they said party of one. So there's a table that is ready for the party of one. So this is serving up some solitude, and you are going solo through this mission. And, there's a reminder here for you to be mindful of the fact that you should never underestimate the impact that even just one person could have, okay? So in that one, we have 1 year's time, and I want to look at that one because when we talk about the number one really resonates with new beginnings, leadership, achievement, and I'm really seeing that this is going to be bringing in an energy of leadership. So stepping into some sort of a leadership role here. And so we are talking about really accomplishing a lot internally and embracing our next goals. So what are we setting out to achieve in light of our honoring our soul's mission while we're here in this physical plane? So I feel like you may feel a little bit more comfortable within a group setting. However, if you are setting out to accomplish this task in a group setting, I feel as though you will kind of be ditched at the last minute, okay? Because I feel it's all purposeful. This is part of a lesson for you in stepping into your own power, right? And so I feel like they're going to pull out at the last minute, and that's okay. I want you to breathe with confidence that this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're exactly where you're meant to be. All right? So know that each of us, we have our own light, and we shine it in our own ways, and we have that impact on others. And while we're here for our short time that we are here, in different ways and in our own unique ways. So you're here to be a guide, though. Now, don't mistake that, okay? So in order to do that, to be this leader, you have to kind of be willing to go where others might hesitate to go. So both in the physical plane, actually physically going where others don't want to go, but also when we're talking about that, we're also talking about going where others may not want to go. When we talk about a dark place, it could be talking about our shadow self, right? So going within, we're talking about this emotional aspect, kind of confronting those things. So that's talking about calling fear out on the carpet, right? Mustering the courage that you never even knew you had within you, right? Talk about the cowardly lion from the Wizard of Oz. This is exactly what is happening right now. Your journey is going to take you through that so that you are cultivating that courage that you need. So whether this next 1 year is about you cultivating courage, whether this next 1 year is about you calling fear to the carpet and really confronting that so that you can overcome that obstacle to you being the best version of you, whatever that looks like for you for this next 1 year, this is what this is all about right now. Okay, so where does all of this come from, right? Well, we have all of these things that we've been through in our lives, and as we experience different things, it leaves different marks on us. whether we learn the lessons from that or whether different subconscious patterns have been created that we have to kind of overcome later in life in order to achieve what we want to achieve. We have to kind of overcome these things in order to level up, so to speak. Okay, so there is no next level achievement from a comfort zone. Okay, so how do we muster this courage? How do we get to next level? Well, first and foremost, we need to be able to believe in our mission. So whether you are focusing on like, what's my why? So some people do the things that they do because they want to be a good role model for their children or those in their family. Some people do the things that they do because they want to create a lasting legacy of love, like I do. Some people do the things that they do because they feel this inner calling to do that. Some people feel absolutely compelled to do the things that they do because they just feel that that's the path that's meant for them. So what is your why? Believing in your mission is something that's going to propel you down this path. And so are you in alignment with your purpose? Look at your external world. What are you doing every single day? What choices are you making? And are they in alignment with what you're wanting to do, with what your why is, and what your mission is? Okay. Number two, inner drive. Okay. So this could be simply having this nagging feeling that, gosh, there's got to be something more than this humdrum every single day in and out of work type of life, right? And it doesn't even have to be that. It could be, just wanting more out of life, right? That inner drive to do better, to push yourself to your limits, to see how far you can go, to achieve more, right? So this is really getting yourself, pushing yourself beyond each next comfort zone that you've established in your life where you're like, okay, I've leveled up, cool, right? And then after a while, that becomes your comfort zone. So you're like, hey, well, what else can I do? I've achieved this. Where else can I go? What else can I do now? And so you're trying to push yourself again to achieve more, do more, learn more, right? And so you're seeking that for other reasons. And so, you're going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable and get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And so, that's the only way to get to the other side of this. And so some people, they end up kind of pushing themselves. It's like a forced feeling of going beyond their comfort zone, right? Sometimes it's not really by a choice. Sometimes the universe pushes us past our comfort zone because we have gotten so uncomfortable in our comfort zone. We're tired of our own crap. We're just like, oh gosh, I can't do this anymore. Like, I have to do something. Or something happens externally beyond our control, and the universe is pushing us past that point of no return, and we absolutely are forced out by the universe, and then we have to kind of deal with it as it comes. And so before you get to that point, I would encourage you to try to level up on your own, because at least there's a little bit more flexibility and control in that, right? And then number three is resilience, right? And so when we talk about resilience, resilience is our capacity to recover from things that happen around us, right? To recover from difficult circumstances, right? We can spring back really easily. We create this like tough exterior for ourselves. So how do we do that? Well, this really kind of involves us having checked our emotions at the door. And this is where we kind of run back to that whole having gone to places where people don't really want to go. When we talk about navigating with our light into the dark, right? So we're here to light up all the dark parts. And so whether we are working through our triggers so that there will be less triggers in interactions with other people, whether we are, having difficult conversations, whatever that looks like, that's really working through some of that and leaving sometimes our emotions out of the equation. Sometimes circumstances call for us to leave our emotions out of the equation, right? And to sacrifice that for the greater good. I know that that sounds weird, but sometimes we have to do something that we aren't necessarily wanting to do, but you do that, you get through that, and you grow through that, right? And so, that ultimately you build resilience also through building strong, positive relationships with other people. You build resilience with self-care. Huge advocate of self-care. I love self-care. And I'm talking like next level self-care. Okay, get creative with this. This is not your ordinary run-of-the-mill self-care. Okay, so we got normal self-care is like you eat healthy, you may go to the gym and get your exercise, and you get the number of hours of sleep that you're required for your body, for your personal well-being, right? We're talking about play, right? So what is good self-care for you? What lights you up? This could be for some getting out there and doing something super creative, whether this is doing podcasts, whether it is painting, whether it is designing something. Some people really enjoy time with children because it ignites joy and it sparks that joy in them, right? Whatever that self-care is for you, that's like next level, lights you up, do that. And do all the things that bring you joy and invite more joy in, right? Children are a great avenue to invite more joy in because they're very present in the moment. And so I advocate, if you have any children, that you can spend some time with, right? And also there's that imagination, there's imaginative play, and it can just get ideas flowing. Also we learn from our own experiences, right? So that kind of couples in with checking our emotions at the door. We kind of learn and grow as we go. And so having self-compassion, of course, throughout this whole thing, knowing our own strengths and weaknesses, that is an ultimate self-compassion, right? Knowing that, hey, I'm not going to get this right 100% of the time, and that's okay, right? And forgiving ourselves along the way as we try to step into new goals and new directions and learn in this process, right? So I think overall, though, I think it's about being willing to make mistakes along the way, right? And we have to be able to be flexible with that. But you can still make mistakes and have that really not negatively impact your confidence, right? Because part of making mistakes is, understanding that, like, hey, we won't know everything, but that part of making those mistakes, that's how we learn from that. That's how we learn some of our weaknesses, and that's how we light up part of that self that we don't know yet, right? And so that's part of learning through the process, and that is exactly how we all grow as humans. And so yeah, you can go back to the drawing board as a result of something that you learned about yourself and say, hey, I'm going to scrap this goal entirely because I'm just not feeling it. I don't think that this is going to support my overall mission. And so because I'm, that's not one of my greatest strengths, how can I play to my strengths, right? You can always go back to the drawing board, redefine your goals, make sure your goals are realistic along the way. And, there's a reminder here, of course, to end this reading that, that song by the Rolling Stones, you can't always get what you want, you get what you need. That spirit will never lead us in the wrong direction. So just be open to what comes, because they may be leading you down the path for your most joy and for your highest and best outcome. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I do so hope that this reading resonates for you in some way, shape, or form. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. And if you're interested in your own personal reading, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can email me at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com, or you can book a session with me right on the square site pinned in the description box below here on the YouTube or at the top of the page on Facebook. Thank you so much. Take care.